возвращаясь к киберугрозам и продолжая эту историю,
Getting back to our discussion. In 2020, the indicators of malware reached the highest level of 2007. The number of extortions reduced by 7%, and by 2020, 55% of the companies suffered from such attacks. At the same time, the number of phishing websites is growing. Aamir Lakhani is going to share with us information about that. Aamir, the floor is all yours.
And I am a FortiGuard researcher and engineer.
Я являюсь инженером и исследователем FortiGuard. И сегодня мы говорим о различных атаках. И угроза таких атак постоянно растет. И перед тем, как я начну, хочу рассказать немножко обо мне самом. Я на самом деле хакер. Я именно этим занимаюсь в Фортине. Моя задача понять, как компании, организации, потребители подвергаются хакерским атакам. Я должен проанализировать и понять различную технику, которую используют хакеры, и должен понять, какова мотивация хакеров и агрессоров. Я проходил специальный тренинг, но на самом деле я веду постоянную работу в этой области. На самом деле, последние 6 месяцев я работал дома, я занимался различными видеоиграми, мне это очень приятно. И, собственно, один из элементов моей работы — это видеоигры. Я имею целый ряд сертификатов и образования, и я работаю с различными организациями, такими как .com и RSA. Мне очень приятно встретиться сегодня с вами. Итак, я хочу сегодня показать вам различные реальные виды атак и хочу объяснить, почему хакерские атаки могут быть и плохим моментом, и хорошим.
Now, please don't attack me when you're upset out with some of the techniques I'm going to show you today.
И, пожалуйста, не обижайтесь на меня за то, что я покажу вам различные методы, подходы и технику атак. Сейчас я хочу на экране показать вам...
Don't feel offended. I'm going to show you a simple attack, one-to-one. It is the simplest possible attack. Currently, I'm launching malware. The user is a victim. The user is exposed to the hacker. I'm loading my own program.
И самый простой способ загрузить такую программу я могу.
The simplest way to load this program, I can do it via other software products. I can identify it as malware. If we look at other apps, they cannot detect this malware.
мою
And remember, today we're at a day
смоделированную
where
программу,
everyone
Very many applications cannot recognize my program. We are talking about using artificial intelligence worldwide. However, the worst malware applications still exist and can be used. The majority of hackers are not aggressors. They are not criminals. The hacker
хакер это тот, кто может, например,
is someone
problems exist.
who can affect the cardiac pacer, for example, pacemaker, and we know how to counter it.
еще одним примером работы является вмешательство.
Another example is interfering with the operation of smartphones. Which is actually penetration in someone's private life, privacy violation. What is positive here is that we can check our system in terms of its sustainability. Who are attackers? That's true. People can abuse technology. People can act as hackers. And they do it in order to benefit from such attacks, such criminal activities. Now, let us discuss what Fortinet is doing across the world. In the past 5 years, we have identified a 300% growth in intrusions in the work of remote protocols. We see more and more people working remotely. Amid the COVID pandemic, very many people have become teleworkers. And very many companies provide remote access to their resources, to their employees. Some people use VPNs for this purpose, which VPNs get exposed to attacks. Those VPNs can be set up incorrectly in order to counter problems. One should analyze, try to find out if there is any malware installed, incorporated into your system, for which purpose authentication should be carried out. In many cases, in order to counter VPN attacks, security checks with the use of certificates or other policies are required. The most spread types of attacks are phishing websites. And here you can see some phishing statistics from Google. According to them, since January, the volume of such attacks has increased by 350%.
In this case, this is some examples of what we've seen around the COVID or virus on phishing websites.
Мы говорим о том, что различные атаки.
We see quite a lot of phishing websites. We see attacks against financial institutions, financial services provided by banks. We see many other types of attacks. For example, when consumers purchase or need to purchase various medical products such as face masks, in which case phishers, fraudsters take advantage of the fact that people consider healthcare information as critical information. And here are some examples of such attacks. These attacks take place all over the world. Fraudsters present themselves as providers of healthcare services or suppliers of medical products, or as providers of financial support amid the pandemic. Quite often, fraudsters not only use email, but also mobile apps. They can promise you various benefits or information concerning COVID-19, or they suggest that they improve and enhance the work of your equipment in order to get connect credentials, passwords, and other private data.
And your Google Home speakers.
И на различных
других
устройствах, не только на...
We also see malware on other devices other than computers or smartphones. We call it skill squatting. How does it work? Skill squatting are attacks that are carried out via other devices such as assistants, voice assistants. An attacker, aggressor, can log in under a simple name, and the following can happen. For example, a user may be doing recurrent payment and can ask the device, how big is my balance on my credit card? It can be American Express, for example. There is American Express, the payment scheme. However, they never use the name Amex. The voice recognition system is engaged, and the phishing app informs you that your bank account has been attacked, asking you to provide your credentials, such as your user ID and password.
Это то, что мы разработали.
This is what we have developed.
Пример того, какие методы мы разрабатываем.
This is an example of the methods that we use in order to model attacks, simulate attacks, and see how it's going to work out.
И в качестве примера, каждый, кто зайдет на определенную страницу в Google,
Any
использование
who will get access to a Google page
логины.
can use all their user IDs and passwords.
В моем случае я создал фейковый
In my case, I have created a fake Google website.
если кто-то попытается
I named it.
набирает
If anyone
свои
tries to get access to it, they will enter their user ID and password.
И я сейчас в качестве примера заходил на такой
I'm showing you an example of such a website.
но сейчас я правда захожу на реальный сайт,
In this case, I'm showing you a real website.
что это может быть поддельный сайт, и
But it can easily be a fake website, in which case you will see a lot of weird things. For example, something may happen to your email.
таким сценарием мы можем рассмотреть ситуации, когда хакеры или агрессоры
We can consider scenarios where
доступ
hackers
к вашему
get access to your credentials.
этот логин и пароль.
Don't use your user ID and password in this case.
И я хочу
Why do we fail? Why do these problems always occur?
когда испытываем
Let's try
проблемы и почему
to understand why we experience problems and why
следующим. Вот очень хороший пример.
it's not always that we can ensure our security. This is a good example.
Картинки. И я, собственно, видел такую калитку, которая предназначена для охраны.
I have seen such a gate door in real life.
И вы видите, что на этой калитке
As you can see,
запор, но его легко
this gate door has a lock.
И если я смотрю на различные ситуации,
Let's consider different scenarios.
люди реально не
When I see things like this,
такую калитку.
I don't always understand why people do not
Информационные
bypass it.
также
Quite often,
аналогичные вещи.
information protection systems look the same.
Использование правильно
We understand how important it is to use right products,
или мы приобретаем правильные продукты,
or we even buy such right products. However, we don't use them properly.
информационной безопасности.
What do we need to do in order to succeed?
Наши подходы того, как мы оцениваем ситуацию,
We should evaluate situations, assess them properly
способы решения проблем.
in order to find proper solutions. I'm going to show you another example. During WW2,
Сильно страдали от
British aircraft
противовоздушной обороны
suffered significantly because of the Nazi AA systems. So they decided
потому что они
to use additional armor. They would be losing quite a lot of their planes. Where to locate this additional armor?
давайте посмотрим
Let's see. Let's have a look at those areas
На самом деле,
on the aircraft body which is most exposed to bullets.
было на самых больших поверхностях на самолете.
Most of them were
Это крылья,
on the widest surfaces, such as the wings, the tail,
So someone said, you know what, let's go ahead and be sure we
и
protect
кто-то сказал, давайте постараемся защитить
someone suggested,
поверхности
let
самолета.
us protect those surfaces.
Но на самом деле, если мы применим бронирование по всем
However,
поверхностям, самолет просто
if we
взлететь
add armor to those surfaces, the aircraft wouldn't be able to take off,
венгерский
being too heavy.
математик Абрахам Волд,
Mathematician Abraham Wold
что вам нужно обратить внимание только
said,
на следующее.
you should only pay attention to the following.
Базу или нет.
Will your aircraft be able to return to the airfield or not,
Реализовать свою задачу и вернуться. Если самолет даже с
having
простыми крыльями
completed its mission?
задачу и вернуться, это
If the mission is accomplished
аналогичным
and the plane is back,
к
it's good.
вопросу
It's this that is important, and we should approach the issues of information security in the same manner. We all know about viruses and malware.
но и мы знаем, например, о программах
We also know about extortion software.
это больше всего заботит обычных потребителей, но на самом деле гораздо
This is what bothers
происходит
the users most.
в виде других программ.
However, problems normally come with different malware, and we should continuously assess the situation and examine this problem, pay more attention to simple things such as IP addresses and so forth.
Вопрос в том, что в результате определенных атак может пострадать полностью ваш бизнес.
As a result of some attacks, your business can be ruined,
Имеет только определенные элементы небезопасности.
while fraudsters may only be using some elements for extortion purposes.
Устройства, смарт-телевизоры, смарт-системы,
Today,
установки,
any device, a smart TV,
это действительно новый мир, и в этом
a smart speaker,
будет много различных
can also be exposed to attacks, and there are a lot of attack types today. To wrap up,
презентацию. Я хочу сказать, что
I should say the following.
важно изучать различные атаки.
It is very important to examine attacks.
Атаки. Существуют определенные библиотеки.
There are special libraries and software. We provide a lot of free training.
И я даже проводил обучение для своей
I even provided training
мамы и
for my mother
даже если
and father.
учу мою маму не кликать по различным ссылкам
If I teach my mother
электронной
not to click
будет уже свидетельствовать об успехе.
the various links coming with emails, it will be a success.
Это инструмент, который называется
Another tool that I like a lot
специальный тренажер,
Show you how to do that. But
где
it's actually
is a simulator
вы должны
I tell some of my colleagues and some of the interns on our team,
хакнуть
some of the new people getting security. If you do this for about
имя
6 months,
пользователя.
you'll be better than probably a
И
you are expected to crack a username.
сможете
If you succeed with this simulator,
угрозы
you will be able to analyze various threats
lets you download unpacked websites such as WordPress
You can download and unpack a website.
Программа для модулирования. Это OneHub
There is another simulation software product.
и по разработке. И еще одно приложение Cyber. Итак,
One more application.
большое спасибо за внимание.
Colleagues, at this I would like to wrap up. Thank you very much, colleagues.
В дальнейшем на вопросы.
As far as I understand, we have some time for questions and answers.